All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 18th, 2025. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land, cyber land, podcast land. Everybody, thank you for finding the value in my content. I love that, appreciate that. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the wrong. Let me just check this just for a second. Just a second here. All right, seems okay. I don't know why this is orange over here. All right, okay, anyways, all right, so all of the my SPY pivot this morning is 566.20. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are still in daily downtrends. All except FNGA made higher highs and higher lows, closing above bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. FNGA made higher high and a higher low, closing inside the bearish trap under the 17. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute downtrend. All right, gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Silver made a lower low and a lower high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Gold made a new all-time high, USO, in a daily downtrend still. Made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bearish trap under the 17. UNG made an inside day, high flyer there, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. US dollar index still in a downtrend. I love that. Closed near the 103.41 area. SPY max pain for today, 565 for the puts and calls that expire today, with a put to call ratio of 0.9 puts to each call that expires today at 415. All right, let's take a look at some charts this morning. All right, let's start off with, what do we want to start off with? Let's start off with the normal one, SPY. All right, let me move a few things around. SPY. All right, we'll dig it out on the 10-minute chart. Okay, you can see the 3 EMA. All right, that's the yellow line, clearly crossed underneath the 8 EMA. All right, with an igniting candle to the downside. All right, reversal candle kind of. All right, over this, under the 17 EMA there. See those green dots? That's the 17. So we got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. So I'll be looking for a continuation of that 10-minute downtrend. In other words, I'll be looking for a red candle. It just can't be a bottoming tail candle. Can't be a little spinning top red candle. Can't be a little doji candle. All right. It's got to be a red candle, but it can't be any one of those. All right. I don't want it to be green, because green shows me that the bulls control the time frame and the price. All right, so I don't want a green candle. All right, don't want a doji, because you got equal tails and equal wicks. If you got equal tails and equal wicks, that's showing me that bears have control on the top and bulls have control on the bottom, and they both agree on the body in the middle. So that doesn't work for me either. Okay, bottoming tail candle shows me that bears pushed it down, but the bulls pushed it right back up. So obviously the bulls had more control. Okay, if you've got more tail than you do body and wick, so I don't want a big bottoming tail candle, or any bottoming tail candle, any candle that's got more tail than it's got body and wick, because that shows me that the bulls had more control than the bears did. All right, I don't want to be outnumbered. All right, so I don't want any candle like this one right here. Okay, it's got more tail than it does body and wick. All right, that's showing me bulls have control. All right, so I don't want a spinning top. I don't want a doji. I don't want a bottoming tail, and I don't want a green candle. All right, so that's what I don't want. So I want some red candle that has continuation of that 10-minute downtrend that we left off with on Monday. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute. That's what I'm looking for. All right, now we make our most money. All right, when we see price. See how price, you got a 10-minute trend right here. Okay, this is what we traded yesterday. See this trend? You've got ascending tails coming right up here. Let me get my drawing tools out and I'll show you those ascending tails. So you got a tail. Here's a tail here. All right. Then you got a higher tail there. And then you got a higher tail there. And then another higher tail there. And then a higher tail. And then a higher tail. See these higher lows? All right. It's telling me price is ramping up to go to the upside. All right. So you got ascending tail program that led into a big, nice igniting move right up to about the 570 area right up there. Okay, so we make a lot of money, all right, or nice profits anyways, when we see that 10-minute trend up over VWAP, all right? That's the one we like. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP right there. And you got, as you can see right here, you got green erasing red right over this line right there. You see how green comes up, the red comes in right here. We get the red square. And you can see where price action went from this high down to this low. All right. So now you've got a green erases red event. Okay, when the bulls take price from this low up to this high. All right, right back up to the highs and then further. That is a green erases red event. And where's your entry? Right over the body of that candle right there. So I like to enter like right there. Okay? And you can see price action. You got a nice 10-minute uptrend running away from VWAP. Okay, that's where the money's made, when you got that space in between the two. All right? Nice little trend trade right up to the top. Right up there. So there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. That's what we traded yesterday. That's what we're looking for today. Could be to the downside, could be to the upside. We'll see what happens. All right, but that's what we're looking for, is a trade that does this right here. Okay. If we look over to the left on yesterday's price action, you can see we had a bullish environment. Okay, so now we've got, you can see right here into the close on Friday. All right, we have consolidation into the close. All right, and now we've opened up in the morning, little rip up and then consolidate. Okay, anytime I see consolidation over prior consolidation, hey, that's a bullish environment. All right, anytime you see a bull flag, all right, let's just back out a little bit more. Okay, anytime I see a bull flag or price jump up and go, try this one more time, a little bit here. Okay, so price action rips up, all right, and then goes up and then bull flags over. Okay, that's a bullish environment. Anytime I see bullish gaps that aren't getting filled, that's a bullish environment. Anytime price moves up and holds the higher ground, that's a bullish environment. Anytime consolidation occurs over prior consolidation, that's a bullish environment. Okay, so when I see bullish environments, I want to look for the bullish trade. Okay, the same thing goes for the bears. When I see bearish environment, I want to look for the bearish trade. All right, so right now, daily's in a downtrend, but the 2 hours in an uptrend. So I like to play the 2 hour chart. So I'm essentially playing counter trend, but I'm really trading that 2 hour chart. All right. So again, I'm looking for bullish environment. All right. When I see it, that's what I want to trade. All right. Now I will be looking for bearish environment eventually, but I'm going to need a 2 hour downtrend. All right. To go with that daily downtrend and that weekly downtrend. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a possible pullback to this low anchored VWAP over here sometime today. All right, or if it didn't happen overnight, but I'm looking for a test of this 562 area, maybe a little spike of it. I don't know how low we got today in the pre-market. We could take a peek. All right, we got close but no cigar right there. Okay, not quite yet. I'd like to see them test this low anchored VWAP, and then see if they're going to hold or not. All right. Oh, here's the game plan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the game plan. We already got it open here. Might as well take a look at it. All right. So SPY pivot again, 566.20. That's the yellow line in the middle. All right. Just like traffic lights, you got green, yellow, red. Okay. Over the green, that would be green erases red event. All right. Over 568.90. Okay, over 568.90 is a bullish entry to the upside. All right, and on the downside, we've got a red erases green event underneath 563.80. Okay, now there may be a 10-minute downtrend within between the green and the red line. All right, there may be a 10-minute downtrend or a 10-minute uptrend in between the green and the red line. All right, and that may occur, and if so, I will be interested in trading those over VWAP. All right, the bullish one over VWAP and the bearish one under VWAP. Okay, so I will be interested in trading those if they occur before the red line or the green line is breached. All right, so that's what I'm looking for: breach of the red line, breach of the green line. If we breach the red line, I think this will be a target right here, this anchored low VWAP, which is the pink line right through here. Okay, so that's going to probably be my target. That'll be my initial target, and then probably down to the bottom of this base down here. I think this will probably hold. We got a little consolidation over here to the right, to the left. Okay, so I think that may hold. All right, but anyways, there's the SPY game plan. I like 3 days till expiration options or 10 days till expiration options. All right, I like them to expire on Friday. Fridays have more open interest, and I like liquidity because I want to get in and I want to get out, and I don't want to have to search for buyers or sellers so that I can exit my position. All right, so when it's time to get out, you're gonna want liquidity so you can get out at a decent price when you want to get out at a decent price. All right, so Friday options are a number one for me. All right, now if you want the best performing option, all right, it's always going to be the 0 DTE in the money option. All right, the in the money 0 DTE will always give you almost penny for penny performance with the price action and the direction. Okay, but you know, you're taking on more risk because it's going to cost you more. All right, but you will get the performance out of it. All right. But I like the $2 to $5 out of the money. It offers a little less performance with a little less risk. All right, because I got a small account. I want to build my small account, so I like $2 to $5 out of the money. So there's the SPY game plan. Let's go back to another chart here. Let's pick up on not that chart. Let's try this one right here. Pick up on the 10-minute. Okay, you already saw that the 10-minute right here. At a 10-minute downtrend. Let's check out the 2-hour. All right, you can see price action and the 3 EMA up over the, see that white line? That's the 8 EMA. All right, we got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close yesterday on the daily chart. All right, we've got higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. See the trap? Here's the 3. There's the 8. We're above the trap, but under. See the red dots under those falling 17. That's a 17 EMA. Instead of being a line, it's set up to be red dots or green dots if it's above it. All right, but they're red dots because we're underneath it. So we're under the 17. We closed over the bearish trap. All right, we hit 550. All right, and we're bouncing. So we bounced from 550 back to 570. That's a nice bounce. $20 bounce inside of 3 days. That's pretty nice. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. I still am expecting price to come back to this area right here, 575. See this big valley between the two peaks here? You got a peak here and a peak there. I'm expecting a visit of this area. Okay, we got pretty close yesterday. All right, a little bit more and we could have had it. We may get that follow through today after they touch that that 2025 low anchored VWAP. All right, we'll see if they're going to touch that and then race off to 575. All right, so we'll check that out. So that's on the daily chart. All right, let's check out the weekly chart. Okay, you can see here's a low. Price has made a lower low, so we are in a weekly downtrend. In order to negate this downtrend, we have to take out this high. All right, in order to negate the downtrend, we're in downtrend. Now keep in mind it's just a label, all right? It's just a label and price is moving down, okay? But right now we're in a weekly downtrend, all right? To negate the downtrend, we have to take out the high. If we take out the high, make a new all-time high, that will negate the daily downtrend, weekly downtrend right there. So there's SPY on the weekly chart, all right? Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, we're back to the daily chart here. All right, you can see here's price action, higher low, higher high, closing just like SPY over the bearish trap, under the falling 17, okay, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. See the pink line? All right, no longer in the lower third. All right, again, you move down and you give it up, that's neutral. You move up, you give it up, that's neutral. So they're in neutral land right now, all right? Same thing works, top side and the bottom side. You move down, you give it up. You move up, you give it up, you're still neutral. All right, so they're no longer in the lower third, all right, so they're just neutral. All right, so price action closing under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, under the falling 17. Okay, you can see daily price action for QQQ still in a daily downtrend. They're just experiencing a pullback in that downtrend at this time. If we take a look at SPY, you're going to see about the same thing. Okay, we're in a daily downtrend. You're just experiencing a pullback in the downtrend right now. Okay, SPY a little bit better off because we're not way down here in the lower third. We're over the midpoint here. We still are, just like QQQ, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line right there. Okay, and then I put another one down here, which would be our 2025 anchored VWAP low. All right, and price will probably waffle in there for maybe a month or two. All right, I would expect price to run back, challenge that, and kind of consolidate in here, and then eventually see if it can make its way back up. All right, or make its way lower. If it fails to go lower, it will probably retest the highs and see how high it can get back up to this area. So we'll see what happens. There's SPY on the daily chart. All right, and I already looked at the weekly chart. We just looked at QQQ. Let's visit the game plan for QQQ. Okay, zoom in here on the 5. All right, again, I like 3 days till expiration and 10 days till expiration Friday options. All right, I like those because we got more open interest. All right, $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, so you got a bull. Green erases red entry over 584.95. QQQ pivot this morning, 482.10 right here, right over the top of the, see that brick of wicks up here? Right over the top of that brick, okay? You have a red erases green event under 579.10, okay? See this brick of tails down here? You get underneath those tails right there, that would be a bearish entry to the downside. All right, so underneath 579.10 over 480, excuse me, under 479.10 and over 484.95. There's this QQQ game plan. All right, so we already saw the daily chart on that. Let's pick up a clean chart and go visit IWM. All right, here's IWM on the daily chart, okay? Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, under a falling 17, under an uptrend line, that's the goal line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, all right, under the midpoint, in the lower third, okay? So this is bearish. You go up, you give it up, and more, that's bearish, okay? Same way as if you go down and you give it up and more, that's bullish, okay? The reverse applies as well. Okay, so there's IWM on the daily chart. Okay, still in a daily downtrend. Okay, looking like IWM really wants to spike this 17. We'll see what happens. All right, there's IWMs. Take a look at Diamond Dow. Same candle. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the uptrend line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, and over the midpoint. Okay, so that's just neutral. Again, you go down, you give it up. You go up, you give it up. You're neutral. There's Diamond Dow on the daily charts. Take a look at FNGA. FNGA, higher low, higher high, closing inside the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the midpoint. That's the green dash. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, under the uptrend line, okay? So FNGA, all right, is neutral, no longer in the lower third, okay? They go down, they give it up, that's neutral. They wind up in the lower third down here, they're going to be bearish. They were bearish for a few days, they recovered. That happens, okay? So there's FNGA on the daily chart. All right, you can see still underneath the midpoint. Okay, a lot of work to be done to turn this thing around. There's FNGA. Let's go take a look at our technicals. T2122. All right, so we ripped out of the seller's chop zone, clearing the buyer's chop zone. Didn't even stop for coffee or go to the restroom or anything. Wound up in the buy zone, all right, and we camped out there, making the bears uncomfortable all day yesterday. All right, so there's T2122. Nice recovery on T2122. You can see there's the downtrend line. They broke the downtrend line, and we're back here in the buy zone, making a higher high. All right, that's good news. That's really good news. Okay, T2123. Okay, was green from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Not a whole lot of space opening up here with the price action and the 17 EMA. Okay, not very impressive at all. We're not filling any bearish gaps, and we haven't made any higher highs. Okay, so they really haven't completed much here as far as recovery goes. Still looks like it's going to be a long road ahead for a recovery. We'll see what happens, but you can see haven't made a higher high. All right, and we haven't filled any bearish gaps. All right, so nothing really special, but I got to give them credit. Consolidation over prior consolidation is a bullish environment, but let's back out here. Okay, a move down and hold the lower ground is definitely a bearish environment. So from the bigger picture, okay, definitely bearish. Okay, from the shorter time frame, that's bullish right now. And it's bullish till it's not. That's the way it works. T2123. Still a whole lot of space here between price action and a falling 200 SMA. Again, a lot of work to be done here on T2123. All right, same product here, only on a 3-bar chart. Okay, you get price action again, moving down and over to the right. Okay, that is a bearish environment. Okay, we are under a falling 17. Look at all the red dots. We put in 3 more red candle dots yesterday. We're still underneath the falling 200 SMA. We're still underneath 2 or 3 prior all-time highs. You got 2 here on the green lines. All right, and there's 1 up there. Okay, so still a lot of work to be done here on T2123. A lot of distance between that all-time high and the price action. It can recover. You can see it's done it before. That's a nice move inside of, what, 30 days right there? That's a huge move right there. All right, so there's T2123 on the 3-bar chart. Okay, nothing bullish going on the 3-bar chart at this time. All right, see, we're not filling any bearish gaps, and we're not making any higher highs. T2123. Let's take a look at FNGA. We'll watch FNGA. Big reason we watch this one, it's got 10 of the most heavily weighted stocks in the QQQ and the SPY. And those are the two products I like to trade the most. I feel I get the most performance out of those two indexes. All right, not to mention there's plenty of liquidity. All right, so let's look at FNGA. Yesterday's price action, okay, making a higher high, okay. Here's the higher low. They did make a higher high. They finally filled the gap. See, here's a gap down. Finally filled a bearish gap, all right. That's a bullish environment. Anytime I see bearish gaps getting filled, took them a whole week to get there, but they got it done, all right. I don't know if they're tired. I hope they're not. Price action has been making higher lows and higher highs. That is a bullish environment. All right. Price action is up over the falling 17. That is a bullish environment. We're still underneath this green line, which is the uptrend line, and the all-time high anchored VWAP, which is the pink line up there. Okay, still a lot of work to be done. All right, but on the smaller time frame, we are acting bullish at this time. I don't know how long it's going to last. Again, it's bullish till it's not. All right, as long as they continue to make higher lows and higher highs, we're going to remain bullish on the smaller time frame. Okay, again, you got watch that 2-hour chart. That will be a big indicator of which side you want to trade on. Okay, again, on the daily, they're still in a downtrend. All right, we're just having a pullback in that downtrend at this time. All right, so price will probably come back and test this 200. Maybe we can get a catch on the 200, and price will make another higher low and eventually make another higher high. We'll see what happens. Here's FNGA. Let's look at a few sectors, all right, and then we're going to take a look at the economic package. All right, first sector we're going to peek at is going to be XLE. Here's our energy sector. Nice candle there. All right, little follow through on that big green candle there. Higher low, higher high, closing over downtrend line 1, over downtrend line 2, over 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's a pink line, over the green dash line, that's good, but still hasn't made a higher high, okay? Okay, let's recognize that. When we make a higher high, at that point, then we want to get interested. Still hasn't made a higher high. Maybe today will be the day. All right, we'll see what happens. We're getting up there. All right, nice candle, by the way. Really nice candle. Okay, like to see us get on top and consolidate, hold the higher ground up here. Again, just neutral. Price goes down and gives it up, that's neutral. Same thing as when price goes up and gives it up. That's neutral. So there's XLE, just neutral. Let's take a look at USO. USO, higher low, higher high. Closing over the trap. Closing over 3-year high anchored VWAP. Closing over the uptrend line right here. And underneath the midpoint. Okay, USO still kind of in bearish territory. I'm going to give it to him, okay? So I'm just going to call him neutral at this time. Moving down and giving it up. All right, so there's USO. Let's take a look at UNG. Inside day, lower high, higher low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17, but over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, over the midpoint, up here in the upper third. That is bullish up there. Okay, we're bullish in the upper third up there. Let's take a look at silver and gold. There is gold. Gold made a new all-time high yesterday. Nothing else needs to really be said. Nothing more could be said. Okay, silver got a lower high and a lower low, but closing over a bullish trap. That's very bullish still. Over the 17, over, this is a 12-year high anchored VWAP. All right, over the 12-year high anchored VWAP up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish as well. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish cross. Closing under all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint. They move down, they give it up, that's just neutral. Okay, you move up, you give it up, that's just neutral. All right, they're underneath the midpoint, so they're on the bearish side of neutrality, that's for sure, but they're no longer in the lower third. There's SMH. Let's take a look at the sister to, the cousin to SMH, that would be the XLK. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over a trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, and under the midpoint, okay? No longer bearish, it's not in the lower third. They move down, they give it up, so they're just neutral right here on XLK. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF, nice candle yesterday. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, under a falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, up here in the upper third, so that's bullish. All right, let's see if they can hold it. If they can hold it, they'll be bullish. If they can't, then they can't. Then they'll just be neutral. That's XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. Here's our transports, higher low, higher high, closing in the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, that's the green dash, under the uptrend line, this is the gold line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, okay? Down here, I'm just going to call it in the lower third, that's bearish, okay? Down here in the lower third. You go up, you give it up and more, that's bearish. All right, let's take a look at the economic package for today. Dollars in a downtrend, making lower highs right here, and lower lows, and lower highs, and lower lows. And we broke minor support. That's these two peaks here. And broke kind of major support, a little bit of support there. Like to see us get below. See that valley low right here? Like to see us get below that. That's kind of been support for a while right there. If we can break through this support right here at 103, it's a good chance we're coming down here to visit the breakup candle low. If we get below this support right here. Okay, dollars in a downtrend, that's good for the market. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. All right, we've got an FOMC meeting begins, and they're going to give us their results tomorrow. Okay, housing starts and permits at 8:30, import-export prices at 8:30, industrial production at 9:15, and that's it for the day. Okay, the main events tomorrow, 2 p.m. FOMC announcement. I don't think there's going to be any surprises. I think they will continue to say that they're going to be hawkish. I don't think there will be any changes. All right, so everything is looking good so far. For tomorrow, MBA mortgage applications at 7. Okay, petroleum report at 10:30. The FOMC announcement at 2. That is the main event this week. And then a little presser at 2:30 afterwards. On Thursday, jobless claims at 8:30. Philly Fed manufacturing, 8:30. Existing home sales at 10. Gas report, 10:30. Friday, nothing but a rig count at 1 o'clock. Okay, so light week, and I don't think FOMC, I think FOMC is going to be irrelevant this week. Now, they may shake it up, all right, because they can, all right, but I don't think anything is going to change. CPI and PPI came in nice last week, so I don't foresee any changes at all. If they do, that will be a surprise. Lowering rates will be nice. I don't see that happening, but it may happen. We'll see what happens. All right, for tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's the main event, 2 p.m. All right, we already did the dollar. Let's do Max Payne for SPY today, 565. I think we're already there. Put to call ratio, 0.9 puts to each call that expires today. All right, and on the earnings calendar, start off with Tuesday. Just familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Wednesday, same thing. Familiar names, General Mills, Prudential, Williams-Sonoma. Nothing that's going to move the markets. Thursday, Accenture, $198 billion right there. They're going to report in the morning. PDD Holdings, $163 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Nike, $107 billion. They report in the evening. Micron Technology, $105 billion. They're going to report in the evening as well. Again, they're not going to move the markets, but they may affect their sectors. Friday, nothing here that's going to move the markets. You got some familiar names, Neo, Carnival. Carnival's got two of them that are going to report Friday morning. Monday, you can see here, again, familiar names, Oklo. I don't know if anybody's in Oklo, KB Homes. All right. Monday is going to report on Monday. All right. I'll take some questions in the room. If there's no questions, I'm going to render my video. I want to thank everybody in digital land, podcast land for listening to my video, finding the value in my content. I appreciate that. I love that. I love the kind comments. Thank you for the subscriptions. I really appreciate that as well. All right. So I'll take some questions if there's any in the room. If not, we will get together in about 30 minutes, all right, to open up the market. Thank you, Alan, as always. All right, thanks, guys. All right, again, members, trial members, and members, all right, if your paper account or your brokerage account isn't growing, I want to help you. I offer free 15-minute coaching. You got my emails up there. It's in the chat. I want to help. All right. We've been trading the game plan and 10-minute uptrends on the SPY and QQQ for a long time now. All right. And all we're looking for is 1% each day. And I got to tell you, most days we wind up with 2 or 3%. So 2 or 3 daily goals. All right. So if you're not making money, I want to help you. All right, I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes then.